Chief Shegun Odebami. Thank you very much, sir, for setting up such an establishment that is speaking around the world.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I knew something was being cooked. I thought it was just going to be something small where my friends and his friends would come and we'll go to his graveside, say a silent prayer, and watch a little bit of sports and go on our way. But I can see that you are well organized. So I thank you for representing me well. This is the sign of what we are doing in this school. The best things in life are those small things you can see clearly, you can hold, you can feel. Those small moments that you can experience, that you can share with somebody who is also close to you. So I like this atmosphere that is so small in honor of my friend, Lee Evans, that this school will never forget. And I know that as he lies peacefully, as he journeys peacefully to his God and his Creator, his heart, his mind, his soul, his wishes would be with this school. And he will be a guide onto this school. He will make sure that things happen in this school because those were his greatest desires before he passed on to join his Creator. So I thank you all for doing this in his honor. I have brought today a few of my friends. Well, an African American is our brother, but he lives in Tanzania, and he's doing great things for Africa in Tanzania. He's a great scholar, he's a historian, he calls himself a guerrilla activist. You know, human civil rights activist. He is Professor Ikawemba Bonti. And sitting next to him is somebody that you know because he was here when we were seeing off Lee Evans back to his Creator. He's a very good friend, good old friend, partners in the development of young people in the world, partners in the business of athletes development, and one of the closest persons to Lee. He is also a teacher, he's a coach, an international coach. He manages, or he managed, one of the greatest African middle distance runners in history, Philbert Bayo. You go and Google it, you will find that name, Philbert Bayo. He is Mr. Ron Davis, is his name, Mr. Ron Davis. He was here the last time we saw him. On telephone, I listened to him for 10 minutes and he blew my mind completely. Somebody speak with such knowledge and wisdom about sport, the history of sport, and the future of sport, and the business of sport, the way I heard my friend, ID, I call him, he said, I don't rain, he don't rain, Uyo, he don't rain, Uyo. That's his name. ID. He's an orator of the first class order. When he opens his mouth, you listen. You must listen. The man next to him is our Bale Ashogmo. Then the man next to him is my good friend from Ilorin. He came all the way from Ilorin to come and be part of the show today, Dr. Ishola. I have to introduce this man to my friends. This is the head of this. This is the chief servant of the school. So he ran about what's going on. The teachers are also doing very, very well. Everybody is doing well, but I must single him out.
This school is a unique school, one of its kind in Nigeria. We are the first multi-sport school in Nigeria. We are not just a football academy. For so many years, we dabbled with that idea. We wanted to be a sports academy that combines academics with sports, not just football. But for so many years, we couldn't get the right fit for the various academies. So Professor Lee Evans came into the school. I don't know how the proprietor contrived to get him to come in, but the day he told me that Professor Lee Evans will be joining us, I was like, we can't afford to have him because he's way top notch. We don't have the resources to keep him. But he said he volunteered to come and work for us for nothing. And truly he came and he worked with us, and he made that reality come to light that we are really a sports academy, because he built the athletics the program for the school. And the very first fruit of that academy is the head boy of one of the head boys, the ex-head boy of the school, who facilitated a scholarship opportunity to study at a sports university in the US. So he's done a great thing for us here, and we appreciate it. Today we had an athletic meet where we brought schools from all over from Ogun State to compete with us, and some of his proteges were winners today in the athletic event. So we are really privileged to have him come spend his last years with us here. And the fact that he is still with us here, because we see him every day when we come here. Where we're standing right now is a brainchild of his. He intends to make this place one of its kind in Africa. This is actually not supposed to be. This is the Lee Evans Speed and Power Center. It's just in the foundational stage. Definitely we are going to improve on that. But definitely he's giving us something to dream of.
Interest and concern going on about protests of the black athletes and whatnot. Two of the athletes from the same university already had made a protest for human rights earlier by raising their fists, John Carlos and Tommy Smith. And so when Lee won his race, they were looking for some comments from Lee regarding the protest and what he thought. The first thing he said, Lee Evans said, he won the gold medal for all black people in the world, meaning all of us. That was Lee Evans. I mean, we had a number of classes together in the social science department, mostly sociology. And Lee always talked about, or we talked about, coming to Africa one day and to make a contribution. And it happened with Lee when he got hired here in Nigeria in 1974 or 75. I can't remember exactly. I'm getting old now, or old or aging. And it was the most moving moment in his life. I mean, he was so excited to be in Nigeria. He started coaching the athletes and organizing and mobilizing and having competitions on Saturday morning. He used to get us out of the bed at 6:30 in the morning to have the competitions at 7. And we called them all-comer competitions at the time. And we had the world boxing champion, Archie Moore, was here with the National Sports Commission boxing. His wife, my friend, and all of us would be at the National Stadium timing athletes. And afterwards, we'd go have something to eat. And we would always evaluate the competition and was so grateful that we were doing that. And I'm saying that to say, at that time, it was just family out there doing the competitions, supporting Lee, all of us. And it was interesting when we came back in 2009, and I'm saying there was only a few people in the stadium, or when we had, as coaches, national coaches, the national championships at the National Stadium in Lagos, or Surulere. And, you know, so it was just the officials, the athletes, and the coaches. Now, when Lee and I returned in 2009 to coach the national team again to prepare them for the World Championships in Germany, the stadium had thousands of people. And we looked at each other and said, wow, you know, this is what it's all about. And that was Lee. I mean, Lee had so much love for Nigeria. And Segun, I can't thank you enough for what you did in bringing him back when you did. He had so much love for Nigeria, and when it happened that he returned here, he wrote to me almost every week telling me how happy he was to be back here, Segun. And his heart was in the school here. I mean, I'm trying to add to what was said earlier about him, because Lee loved Nigeria. This was his home. And he was just always so happy to be here. Lee was 24/7 in work. You know, I don't think he slept much other than what he was trying to do to get the athletes trained and prepare them for the future and to be future champions, as many champions as he had previously developed. But his athletes in 1984 in the Los Angeles Olympic Games won the bronze medal in the 4x400 meter relay. Those were all his athletes. And we went out that night and celebrated, of course. And that was Lee. He was very happy about that moment. By 1996, athletes that he had trained, and the young lady that he took from zero, and I can't pronounce her name, Falia Ashukoya. Falia, okay, thank you. He took her from zero. In fact, I think he was in the Middle East at that time. He would write to me and said, Ron, if you see her at the meet, let her know that we know each other and try to give her some encouragement. Well, to make a long story short, she won the silver medal in the 400 meters in the 1996 Olympics. And that was Lee, and that was what he was intending to do here. One of the things that has not been mentioned, and I will just go a little bit further, we had a program in LaGrange, Georgia, or I did, and it was to be a pre-Olympic training camp for the 1996 Olympics. Lee was coaching in Qatar at the time, And what he did was, in order to get the program off the ground, he brought his athletes. He had about 5 of them to LaGrange, Georgia. We got a lot of publicity as athletes ran in competitions in the States. But the bottom line was, his 400 meter runner made the finals in the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona. It was the first athlete to make it to the finals in the Olympic Games from the Middle East. So another thing that Lee did, in other words, he was successful everywhere he went, and there's no doubt in my mind he was on the road to being successful here. Happy birthday, Lee. We all miss you, man.
Because we're spiritual beings in a body, an earthly body. And we don't die, we transition. We say we go home, it's homegoing. So this is an Earth Day, and then we have our homegoing day. Professor Lee Evans, I've heard you call him Professor Lee Evans. When he was in college, when he was in high school, he was a student athlete. When they were breaking the records in Mexico City, I was a student athlete at the university in California. Lee Evans and his cohorts, his companions, his comrades became our heroes. As you look around, and I say this to the students, look at each other. You are each other's heroes. You are each other's guides. You strengthen one another. And most importantly, remember, you are student athletes, athletic scholars. You study your sport, you learn your skill, but also remember, education means, if you look at the Latin roots of it, it means to open you up. That's what it means. Educate, educar, educare, to open up. To open you up to your full human potential, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Education means to open you up to your full human potential. We never stop learning. Even when we transition from this earthly kingdom to the spiritual kingdom, you've learned what that transition means and what it is. You carry that knowledge with you. You become an ancestor, and you continue to guide people in this earthly realm. Now, something that you've done here, and I'm saying this to Shegun, to the teachers, those of you who are supporting the school, as well as you students, the fact that Lee Evans' physical body is here in the soil of Africa. He was a son of Africa. This is a statement that resounds beyond Abeokuta. It resounds across the continent and across the ocean. And it's something that makes us all proud, and it's something that makes us all know that we have a home. And we will carry this with us forever. This is an honor to be here. Thank you all very much.
When Lee Evans won his Olympic gold medals, I was 10 months old, just 10 months old. I never had a chance to meet Lee Evans, but I have read and studied about Lee Evans, and I've also spoken to several of his teammates who were on that 1968 Olympic team. There is a common denominator. There is a common denominator among the members of that team, and Lee stood for that. Excellence and preparation. Excellence and preparation. Technique, dedication, and discipline. You don't always win, but were you prepared? Did you give it the best you had, whether it is in athletics or whether it is in academics or whatever it is you do? Did you take the extra mile and the time to perfect your technique, knowing that the person that you are competing against is also formidable, they are also prepared? Whether it's in athletics or whether it is in the skills of life. There is always someone like you who has the same skills that you do, who has the same talent that you do, but are they as prepared as you are? So if there's one thing to take away from the life of Lee Evans, his teammates, and the motto with which they stand for, it is diligence, discipline, perseverance, and excellence. Just do the best you can. The rest will follow. Thank you.
It is not enough to hear about world-class heroes, but to have been mentored, coached, and taught by such a person is a privilege that you would forever cherish till you pass out of this, away from this world. But you can only make the best out of it if you reflect over your interactions with the Evans and those learnings that you took away from your interaction from him. Make them part of your own life. Take him as your model. And for all those traits that you saw in him, which happen to have been the accumulation of traits that made him as great as he was, make sure one after the other you begin to imbibe those traits into yourselves. By the time you are as old as he was before he left, I'm sure you will have outperformed him in your achievements. Thank you very much.
I've done the discus, I've done the javelin, I've done the shot. University in the Nigerian University Games. And once I went to represent them in West African University Games. So, but in Waug, I swung for Ife. So we did the 4x100 meters relay for swimming. But anyway, I look forward to seeing you very soon, okay?
I want to talk about him as a humanitarian. Though he spent a rather short time with us, but like I said, it impacted us greatly. I'll give you 3 instances where his legacy would live on here at Shegwedegwem International College and Sports Academy. We have students who have a passion for sports and who also desire a qualitative education. Though we know there's sometimes a little struggle when it comes to academics. But when they come in here, the methodology with which we work with them helps them focus and get a hands-on in the academics. And eventually, by the time they're graduating, they are proficient in academics. There was a female student who was enrolled at the school at the time he came in. But somewhere along the line, her parents could not actually afford to pay her fees. Lee Evans took off her case, came to me and said he would bankroll or he would sponsor that girl going forward because she was about dropping out of school. Please, do we have Sinisola Oladapo there? There is power when someone believes in you. Lee Evans believed in this girl, and he did everything possible to keep her in school, to inspire her, for her to achieve her true potential. When she came in, she was really frail looking. She was not as powerful as was expected. But he worked with her every day, ensuring that she believed in herself because he believed in her. He told me that I see something about this girl that you don't see. That this girl is going to be great in future. And today, no, not today actually, she came in as an athlete. So, but somewhere along the line, on Friday, we had a football tournament, a competition we're playing in Abeokuta at the MKO Stadium. On Friday, she volunteered to play football. And I was amazed. I just thought she would just add up to the number. But I saw that she was competing. It's a true validation to what the Evans had done for us in the school.
he made him athletic. When you're athletic, you take part in any sport. Today she's athletic. She runs, she jumps, she fights. The plyometric training that he put them through here really is training what she does today. Even as of today, when we had our athletics meet, she competed favorably with state athletes that came here today, and she gave a good account of herself. Please, let's give a round of applause for our Professor Lee Evans. And going forward, I see others towing that line, and it tells us clearly that if we have someone or a group of persons believing in us, pushing us in the right directions, we can be the best that we can be. And that's the motto of this great institution, to be the best that we can be. So let's give a round of applause for our Professor Lee Evans. He's still with us.
Thank you very much, sir.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Denis Evans. Happy birthday to you.
In the name of
It's camera or video.
Thank you, Father, because of Amen. So we are going to give our friend a round of applause. No, we are going to start again. We have to start. We have to. Let's go. Okay.
Thank you. So how are you all doing? Everything is well? Sorry.